Welcome to Macau. Home of churches and temples, forts and casinos, Formula car racing and Portuguese food, this tiny enclave off the coast of China holds one other great distinction. Macau plays host to Asia's most prestigious adventure race, the Action Asia Challenge. More than 18 million people visit Macau every year, swamping the 450,000 locals as they tour the historic locations and World Heritage sites that make it so special. In fact, this former Portuguese enclave has become such a popular destination that within 2 years, 26 new hotels are scheduled to open here, creating more than 10,000 new rooms. That number is set to triple in the next 10 years. But then again, this Chinese Special Administrative Region has a knack for pulling off the extraordinary. It's one of the reasons why Macau has become race one of the Asia Miles series.
Macau, we would say, probably gets the most media exposure out of the 4 races. Everybody just seems to have an interest in Macau.
Team Storm are firm favourites to be the first locals across the finish line. Fernando Nascimento and Lo Kim Fong come from strong triathlon backgrounds.
He brings me the strength for the cycling, okay, and I bring him the strength for the abseiling and for the swimming.
爬石係我嘅強項啦，爬石，咁就大家有時兩邊平衡下咯。
Fernando, an attorney, met Lo, a casino security guard, at a local race 6 years ago. They both share a love of sport and the outdoor lifestyle.
Sport life is the second life for me. Sports can take away my stress from the professional life.
With just 1 week to go before the Action Asia Challenge, the serious athletes are having one last big hit out at a local event. Last year's winner, Pedro Ribeiro, is once again on the winner's dais.
Well, there's 2 teams coming up. Either one of them is going to be very hard to beat. There's a team from Taiwan who beat us on the last race in Hong Kong. And there's also a team of Hong Kong people, expatriates, Gary Mandy and Mark Williams. I believe that their day will come.
Mandy and Williams' hopes were dashed at last year's event when Williams sprained his ankle, robbing them of certain victory.
We were in first place last year when we dropped out, so hopefully try and get first this year. That's what we're aiming for.
But the new team on the block is Team Exustar. Former Chinese Army boys Shen Ji Chen and Chen Chung Ren stormed home in their first Action Asia event in Hong Kong last December, blitzing Ribeiro and Brown in the final stages of the race. But expectation can extract a heavy price.
非常紧张，然后因为我们背负了上一届我们赢冠军的压力，然后当然我们会非常更谨慎的去应付这一次的比赛。
Setting up an adventure racecourse in an urban environment like Macau is a daunting task. The lives of each and every competitor rests with this crew. The course has to be safe, full of variety, yet challenging every step of the way. And to mix it up, race director Michael Mattis has changed the emphasis on this season's race.
One of the things that we've done in Macau is actually position the biking not at the beginning of the race purposely to try to spread the competitors out, but to give the bikers an advantage to try to get up there in the front.
A day before the race, teams arrive from around Asia to check in at the official hotel, the Western Resort, check up on their equipment and check out their rivals. The equipment inspection ensures each athlete is carrying the mandatory kit and knows how to use it.
有揸住啊！突然間一波，一波，我呢個係一波嘅時候，其他唔好，一反手。哦，咁就好啲，係感覺上好啲。
Basically, we're checking that everybody's gear is intact, and working order, that we're happy with it, that it's C rated.
The only task remaining for these competitors is a good night's sleep. Race morning. Nerves are mounting. Minds are racing. For the first time, competitors have been briefed on the course layout. And when Macau government officials bang the starters gong here at the Dome, they will know exactly what confronts them.
Usually we don't like to release the course details, but at least people will, the night before, be able to plan a strategy, a team strategy, and they're not going to be surprised when they see the life jackets at the start.
My strategy at the moment is to find my partner. The map hasn't helped me in that aspect at all.
It's the long swim at the start that we're actually a bit nervous about because there's too many people.
Just seconds now separate these athletes from pleasure and pain.
Have a little bit nervous.
A bit nervous.
Quite tense, but excited at the same time.
3, 2, 1.
Gary, Mandy and Mark Williams set a cracking pace. First out of the reservoir, champion expat Canadian swimmer Dud Woodring, closely followed by Mandy.
Handful of sparks. Yeah!
As the pack sorts itself out in the early stages of this 40-kilometre race, let's take a look at what lies ahead. The first leg takes competitors from the Macau Dome to a small reservoir and the first of many swims. A snaking run around Colowan Island draws athletes on the punishing coast-steering scramble to Chok Van Beach. Race designers deliberately planned this course to punish the legs early. An uphill stretch leading to a forest track provides a brief respite from the urban environment. If any team is built to cope with this kind of punishment, it's Team New Balance SP. Gary Mandy's partner, Mark Williams, is a semi-professional long-distance runner. To him, this stuff is a piece of cake. Team Cliff Bar, strong swimmers from Hong Kong, are in second position, while the Army boys from Taiwan are hot on the pace in third. Last year's winners, Brown and Ribeiro, are biding their time a short distance behind. The co-steering leg is where the going starts to get serious. This is Army territory.
可能因为我们在军中服务的时候是在特种部队哈，所以我们体能可能就比一般人好。然后从台湾开始有铁人三项这个比赛之后，我们就觉得这个比赛比跑步好，没有那么单调，所以我们就爱上这个运动了。
After 10 minutes of blood-pumping legwork, Taiwan catches Mandy and Williams. Not far behind, Team Storm is settling into a solid rhythm for different reasons.
我比較強嘅喺爬石嗰方面， 咁就因為我細個嘅時候咧，我成日同啲屋企人去釣魚啊，所以成日都要爬嗰啲石嘅，咁就喺嗰度係細個嗰度練翻嚟嘅咁。
As the leaders emerge from the first co-steering leg at Chok Van Beach, it's clear there has been an early upset. Taiwan has stolen the lead from Mandy and Williams. The next leg of this race features a short swim around Chok Van Headland. Athletes then scramble their way to a coastal track leading to an offshore cargo net. From here, it's a short dash to a 300-metre long swim to Haksar Beach, followed by a 1 kilometre beach sprint to the first bike transition at the Western Resort.
My feeling tells me that the strong runners who are willing to take the risks, possibly the Taiwanese teams, probably, Gary Manny, Mark Williams, Daniel Pedro, I expect them to be definitely up in probably the top 6, top 7 teams by the time they hit the bikes.
Gary Mandy fights back. His speed and agility earn him the lead once again, but just ahead is his partner's nemesis. Williams rolled his ankle at the cargo net last year, which took Team New Balance from first place to out of the race. As the leaders head into the Haksar Beach swim leg, the pressure is beginning to show. Mark Williams is struggling to keep up with Mandy. Chen is pushed along by Sun. The big surprise at this stage of the race are Rob Hart and John Power of Team Dassies. Both are strong swimmers, and this course is a perfect fit. No one would have expected the Hong Kong expats to be in front of more established teams like Ribeiro and Brown at this stage of the race.
Doing good.
Just 100 metres separates the first 3 teams as they storm up Haksar Beach towards the Western Resort. At the first bike transition, Team New Balance SP is forced to once again relinquish the lead. Mandy's mountain bike has developed a flat tyre. Taiwan takes the advantage. Two days before the start of the Action Asia Challenge, a monsoon batters Macau's coastline.
Good thing we have a safety net.
If you think the competitors have it tough, spare a thought for the riggers.
I know they appreciate it.
Last year, doctors were busy patching up bruised and battered athletes when a storm hit during the race. Luckily for this year's teams, yesterday's storm passed last night, and today the cargo net and fixed line sections are pure fun.
Lots of water, lots of rocks.
Oh, fantastic. Wonderful. I like that water.
Yeah, baby. Good, it's good fun.
From the Western Resort, the first cycling leg takes the pack uphill past the Kaho Dam to a steep 30-metre rock descent. What comes down must go up. Competitors ascend a rock wall back to their bikes for a swift downhill run to the Haksar Dam and a 10-metre abseil into the reservoir. After 1 hour and 49 minutes of racing, only seconds separate the leaders. Moving into third position are Brown and Ribeiro, chasing consecutive titles. Never before have so many teams been so close in contention this far into the race. The fixed-line climb up Coloan's granite cliffs takes its toll on the leaders. At this stage of the race, it's just about all Mark Williams can take. As fit as he is, this marathon man's legs have taken as much punishment as this course can dish out.
How you feeling, mate?
Destroyed. Just dead, mate. Working on bloody... There's such a thing as an 8 to win.
A build-up of lactic acid in muscle tissue is the enemy of every adventure racer.
I love that, yeah.
Team Storm is just 20 minutes behind the leaders, but is currently the leading Macau team. This could all change at the fixed line ascent, a tough part of the course, especially after a 300-metre swim.
Wow, one of the most exhausted parts. We hate that part, okay? Because we have to run in zigzags. We have to, all the time, to take one carabiner to put in the fixed road, okay? It's very exhausting part. Very, very exhausting.
Oh, tight.
The downhill race to the Hangsar Reservoir is almost a sprint. And on these wet dirt tracks, it's also extremely dangerous. First into the abseil is Taiwan. In a race full of upsets, last year's winners, Brown and Ribeiro, have moved into second place. Taiwan is now in real trouble. Chen has a flat tyre, and rather than stop and replace it, the team decides to press on. Refreshed from the reservoir swim, it's back on the bikes for a punishing technical ride through the forests of Coloan and back to Chok Van Beach. A 5-kilometre kayak paddle takes the field along the coast to the Western Resort before returning to Chok Van Beach.
Fast trail riding, beautiful trail riding, but it is very fast, and if they do go too fast, there is a possibility that they could actually slide right off the edge.
Taiwan's decision not to carry a replacement tyre has cost them the lead. First into the kayak section in 2 hours and 57 minutes are current Macau champions Brown and Ribeiro. But the kayaks are not Team Subaru's favourite discipline, and the Taiwan boys now have an opportunity to peg them back, which is crucial if they are to have any chance of winning this event with their disabled bike. Keeping a low profile in third place are the Dassies, but they are being hunted by the Hong Kong team Power Bar Salomon. Chang Shu Keng and Kong Chi Ming were third in the Hong Kong event in December and find themselves in contention again here in Macau. However, Mandy and Williams' final Action Asia challenge is turning out to be a disaster. Further behind, the battle for the minor divisions is just as frenetic. The number of water disciplines in this race keeps athletes' core body temperatures down, despite the hot and humid Asian weather. Team Storm has no problems adjusting to the conditions and is powering the local division. Mountain biking is one of their strengths, and in this race, there's plenty of it. Back at the kayak, the calm conditions are almost perfect as Team Subaru round the buoy and begin the 2-kilometre paddle back to Choc Van Beach, passing within metres of Taiwan on their way. Brown and Ribeiro know Taiwan is handicapped by their punctured bike. As the final stages of the race are mostly cycling, nothing short of a miracle will save the Army boys now.
又爆胎啊！要衰了，加油！
The final stages of this course are on bike and foot. From Choc Van Beach, it's an uphill return right across Coloane to a climbing wall and a series of rope disciplines. The last of the bike legs then takes competitors through Taipa's Industrial Park to the new Saivan Bridge, where the athletes ditch their bikes for a final sprint to the Macau Tower and the welcoming arms of the finish line. The only way to the Coloane Trail is 400 metres straight up. Just 2 legs remaining, Team Subaru hits the climbing wall just seconds in front of Taiwan.
How you feeling, mate?
The Dassies are close behind in third.
Friend. Oh yeah. Go away. Go.
The Army boys' orienteering skills are a little rusty, and a mistake puts their second place in jeopardy. In a first for the race, the Macau government closes a lane of the Saivan Bridge to give athletes the right of way.
They will be definitely looking at Macau Tower as the finish line and going as fast as they can across that bridge. So if any teams are close together, it's really going to be interesting because they don't have far to go until the finish.
For the second consecutive year, in a time of 4 hours, 33 minutes and 29 seconds, Daniel Brown and Pedro Ribeiro claimed the Macau Action Asia Challenge crown. 5 minutes, 54 seconds behind, the Dassies surprised everyone but themselves with an incredible second place. And forced to mountain bike with a puncture for half of the race, an Ironman effort brings home Team Taiwan in third.
Second place team, the Daisies, John.
骑没一般，我们2个人前轮都破胎，硬是撑回来了。能有这样成绩，我已经很满意了。
Pedro Ribeiro says experience played a hand in their victory today.
Once we got on the bikes, things became a bit easier for us. As Daniel said, we were a bit lucky that the team in the lead at that time had a couple of flat tires, one on each bike, but so did we at some stage. We decided to repair it, and it paid off because we caught them again in a very short time.
Back on the course, Gary Mandy and Mark Williams end their Action Asia careers trophyless, but certainly not disgraced. Almost exhausted, Lowe pushes Fernando through the final leg and across the finish line. Team Storm win the Macau division with a time of 5 hours, 40 minutes and 40 seconds, 20 minutes faster than they anticipated.
Run, walk until to the finish line because I was totally exhausted.
我感覺當然係好開心啦，攞到Top Team Macau， 咁就我會同我屋企人分享咯，同埋我拍檔分享。
First home in the women's division, Hong Kong expats Paulette Disher and Jeanette Thompson with a time of 5:58.14. completing an incredible day of sporting prowess. The winners performed the AJ Hackett sky jump from the Macau Tower. A week from today, many of these competitors will be back on the adventure trails around Asia, preparing themselves for the next Action Asia Challenge.